Well, hey, business building warrior, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. This is your host, Jim, and it's my pleasure to hang out with you for a few minutes today. I've got some lessons for you from having taught over 7,000 coaching students and a whole bunch more people than that through our course. Exactly how to succeed, specifically selling on the largest e-commerce platform opportunity in the world. That's Amazon. Well, we've got some lessons for you. We've seen what works. We've seen what doesn't work. We've got a community of about 70,000 people. If you weren't aware, in our free Facebook group, you can go to silentjimdotcom and get a link to that. You can see our coaching program as well and all the other good stuff. But let's get into the content today. I want to talk through about 8 different ways that all complement each other, but 8 different ways that you can make money selling physical products on Amazon. And in many cases, and actually all but one case, you can fully automate to the point where you're not actually touching products or tape or boxes or any of that stuff. You're not even seeing it. It never even comes to your house. But when you first start, you kind of got to learn the ropes. You got to learn the basics. Sometimes you've heard us refer to this around here as the pyramid of Amazon opportunities. But let's talk through it. From time to time, we like to revisit this. Our community is growing right now. There's a lot of people who are either looking for additional side income or people who want to fully replace the income that they have now with a very flexible e-commerce business. Now, while there are many opportunities on the horizon, on the landscape of different types of businesses you could launch, I would argue, and I think we could provide facts, data, and evidence to this, that there's nothing that compares to the Amazon selling opportunity as far as ease of entry, low learning curve, and high odds of success if you do the work. As one of the coaches on our team often says, Robin Olson, this is a low, low, high opportunity. Everything else out there that we've seen is high, high, low. But this, the Amazon, it's a low, low, high. What do we mean by that? Low barrier to entry, low learning curve, low expenses to learn what you need to do, very high odds of success if you do the work. All the other business opportunities out there, high barrier to entry, a lot of things you got to learn. Maybe it's expensive to get going, very low odds of success. So that's why we gravitate towards the low, low, high territory of selling on Amazon, specifically selling physical products. And again, didn't catch it the first time. This can be a fully automated business. This isn't about going to yard sales every Saturday and spending all day sweating looking for deals. You can make money there. And I'm actually going to talk about that in just a moment. And some people make a whole lot of money there. It's a beautiful business model. I have nothing against it. I enjoy doing it myself. But my goal is to try to give you a fully automatable, fully scalable, systemized business that you can carry in your pocket and go anywhere in the world, and the money keeps rolling in. That's the end goal. Does everybody get there? No. But this business can certainly be that. So what are these 8 opportunities? Let's talk through them. I'll go through the list really quick, and then I'm going to talk through them one by one. We start off with the Easter egg hunt model, as I call it, going to yard sales, looking for discounts, looking for closeouts, going to the clearance aisle. It's your local retail store, perhaps, looking for stuff. Sometimes you come back with some winners. Sometimes you don't. You can make money that way, though. Replens is the next step. And we're going to spend a lot of time. If you listen to this podcast, if you scroll back in time and listen to several episodes of Silent Sales Machine Radio, you're going to hear dozens of recent interviews with students who are doing that model at scale, building amazing businesses using strategies like online sourcing and retail sourcing, sometimes called online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. We'll talk about that. Branded bundles. We're going to spend a little time on that today. Then we're going to talk about wholesale. Finally, private label, which is where a lot of people mistakenly start, and they should not start there if you're new. If you're considering getting into Amazon and someone's telling you about private label, my best advice to you right now is run away, holding onto your wallet tightly. You have a 95% chance of failing if you start there. And then finally, the PPP model, proven product partnering. I'll tell you what that is. We kind of put that at the peak. It's kind of like almost a consultant's role once you understand some of the moving parts. So let's go through this list. I've presented this before, but again, I see it as vital to remind us from time to time about the landscape of opportunities we have available to us so that we don't get stuck in a rut. We don't pigeonhole ourselves. We don't think, well, now that I'm at this level, I guess I can kind of stop here and relax. No, you've got to always be growing, always be learning. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not scaling up, you're preparing for the end of your business. You don't have an option to try to hold at a steady state. There's no such thing. So in the interest of continuing to grow and challenge yourself, let's go through the models. So the Easter egg model, self-explanatory. You can find many people. We have several in our community. They find these great deals. I love doing it too. The basic skills of going to yard sales or going to clearance aisles, maybe scanning the barcodes with your free Amazon seller app. These aren't complicated things. You can self-teach yourself most likely most of the basics on this. Now, there certainly are some instincts you'll develop over time, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. And you can build a great business that way. If you like the scavenger type mentality, if you like the thrill of the hunt, and you just can't get enough of it, perhaps that's right where you'll stay. But I would challenge you with this. If you get sick for 6 months, or for some reason you're called away or you move, do you lose the advantage? Does your business continue? Is it automated? Is it scaled to the point where it doesn't need you at the center every day to keep it running? Most eBay sellers can't say that. I was actually talking just a few days ago with a guy who's done eBay. He started about when I did, way back in basically the 1990s. I mean, eBay's been around for a long time now. So back in the late 1990s, he's been doing eBay all along. And he's got a bunch of inventory sitting in a huge warehouse and a team and a staff, and he's selling some of the stuff locally, but this inventory kind of owns him. And he's starting to discover Amazon now. And he's saying, man, I wish I'd have started sooner, because this model scales. I don't have to store the inventory in my warehouse. I don't have to have a team of people there picking things as it sells, right? So if you're going to do it at scale, Amazon's the way to go. That's where we start talking about replens. Why do we start people with replens? Well, the basic premise is this. If you're going to launch a new brand or product, which is what a lot of people on YouTube are trying to convince you to do, you're going to have to check about 30 boxes, and you're going to have to hope that luck and the odds are on your side, and that software that you paid all that money for, and that training you paid all the money for, and that supplier that you're relying on, that all those things are perfectly aligned and everything goes great. And even if it does go well, you'll hear from a lot of people that succeed for a month or two, and then a competitor wipes them out because they've got a more aggressive marketing budget and they can undercut them on price, et cetera. It's just a brutal game to try to play as a new seller. And without exaggeration, your odds of succeeding with the private label model, which is jumping a little further ahead in the script here, but I'm telling you why we start with replens. Because the other major option you hear a lot about is launching a brand. It's brutally difficult. You have about a 5% chance of actually making a profit for any period of time, let alone extended period of time, with that model. So we start with replens. What is replens? Well, if you imagine Amazon imagine Amazon being a big store, and tens of millions of people every day go to that store. Amazon has to stock those shelves with the stuff that people want. What if you had a system that helped you identify those underserved sections of the store? Those areas where maybe 2 or 3 sellers are helping to stock that portion of the shelf, but man, they could use 5 or 10 or 20 sellers stocking because stuff's just flying off the shelf at a great profit. What if you had the ability to scan that store and find the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, without exaggeration, millions of underserved shelf slots in Amazon's virtual store? Well, that's what we do. We teach you how to find those underserved areas of the store. And then you set about finding where you can get the inventory. And if you can source it at a profit, hey, you found an amazing replen product that's going to sell on a repeat basis for you, easily sourced, nice net margin for you. You just send it into Amazon and wait for it to sell, and then you get paid. Beautiful model, fully automatable. We have people who travel full-time in their RV, their businesses in their pocket, and they've scaled this model out beautifully. When you first get started, we suggest that you learn the basics, that you do it yourself. You do the sourcing, you do the shopping, you do the prepping, you learn the system, learn how to get into Amazon Seller Central, know what the numbers mean, and then you can begin scaling and automating this business. That's where virtual assistants come in. And we're not going to dive into that a whole lot today, but we do have a program that trains VAs to help you scale and automate that business. And with hundreds of clients, hundreds of happy clients, provenreplensva.com. I'll stick a link in the show notes today. You can go check that out as you scale. This isn't for new sellers. If you've never successfully found replens and sold them on Amazon, you do not hire a virtual assistant to do that. You need to understand it yourself. So you start with the Proven Amazon course. That's where you start. That's where we teach all of these models. And we'll step you through them. And as you grow, you can kind of climb the pyramid of opportunity. Well, how do you find these great products, these great replens? You can find them online. We call that OA, or online arbitrage. Or you can find them in retail stores. We call that RA, retail arbitrage. Sometimes people will hear about this model and they'll say, well, I don't like going to stores. I don't like getting in the car and going out. You don't have to. Some people will say, oh, I can't sit behind my computer for hours and just source and shop and look for, you don't have to do that either. You have to do one of the two. You don't have to do both. So if there's one of them that you don't like, you don't have to do it, or you can hire somebody to do it as you learn it. The skill you need to learn, the basic skill you need to learn is finding those underserved listings on Amazon, those underserved sections of that virtual store that we talked about. You go to this row 18 and you go down and there's this little section there and there's only a few products there. Customers are just grabbing it as fast as it's restocked. And there's nobody there restocking it enough. Maybe one or two people are restocking it, but there's not enough inventory. It's selling so fast to so many customers that you can hop in the mix and be one of the profitable sellers right there. We teach you how to find those sections. That's the skill you need. Where you source the inventory from doesn't matter. Maybe it's a wholesale source. That's great too. We teach wholesaling as a model all by itself. It's a beautiful model, but we use those same replen skills so that instead of, when you're going after a wholesaler, instead of trying to introduce a new product to the market, you're finding underserved shelf space for that wholesaler where maybe they're selling a few per month at a profit and there's only one seller. You can jump in there and be that second seller, maybe even build a relationship with that wholesaler. These are the kind of things that we teach in the Proven Amazon course and our training, in the wholesale training. So I mentioned branded bundles is the next stop up. And I'm not doing a full in-depth training on any of these. I'm just kind of telling you what this staircase looks like as you climb the opportunity pyramid structure here of the Amazon opportunity. And when I say pyramid, I'm not saying this is, you're not recruiting people to do this business. Sometimes people think I'm talking about a network marketing MLM thing when I say pyramid. No, I'm kind of talking about, imagine a pyramid where at the base is the easier to grasp, lower hanging fruit opportunities where there's probably more competition and it's less scalable and it's less potentially stable from competitors, so to speak. And as you climb, it's a little harder, requires a little more skill set, and you get to the top and you're kind of up there by yourself in the blue ocean of opportunity. So that's why we kind of lay it out that way. And that's the system that we've developed, again, having taught thousands of students how to do these things and done them ourselves for a couple decades at this point, with a team of about 100 people around here who create our content and do our coaching. And my coaching director, Nate, who's been with me for over 18 years, you may have heard him on episode 500 with me. This is our passion. This is what we do. But these are the lessons we've learned. If you follow this system, it really does work. But we like to start you off with the basics, putting money in the bank as you learn, and then climbing the ladder of success. So next, let's talk about branded bundles. What's a branded bundle? Why are they necessary? Why do we have to talk about bundles? Sounds complicated. Well, a bundle is nice because you can begin to distinguish yourself from your competitors. So let's say you find a nice section of the Amazon virtual store and you're serving it, found a good replen, and you're going out and buying that product and you're continuing to stock that product. Maybe it's a 2-pack or a 6-pack and you're stocking, but you're noticing that a lot of the really good products, there seems to always be a few competitors, and that's fine. The buy box rotates. Amazon shoppers are buying from seller A, then seller B, then seller C, and that buy box rotates very nicely on the vast majority of listings on Amazon. Even if your prices aren't the lowest, the buy box will rotate to you. Little sidebar lesson here. If you imagine Amazon having these virtual stores all over the country. Have you ever bought something on Amazon before? Do you live in a part of the world where they have it on your doorstep a couple hours? I did this just last night. Like at 11 p.m., I ordered a product, and by 7 a.m., before I even woke up, it was on my front porch. That product didn't come from thousands of miles away. That came from a local warehouse near me. It had to have. And I didn't shop all the sellers. I wanted that product here this morning. It's actually the juice that's in my smoothie right here. I was out. I used coconut water, and I had my favorite coconut water delivered, a box of it. I didn't price shop all the different sellers because some of the sellers would have taken it 2 or 3 days to get here. One of the sellers, it was $3 or $4 more, but I had it here this morning. So you don't have to be the lowest price seller to win with multiple sellers who are selling the same item. That's a lot of the opportunity. So being the lowest price, yeah, you'll get a few more sales perhaps, but you can make a lot more money over the long term by never being the lowest price seller on Amazon on these popular ASINs. So you can jump in with 5, 10, 20 other sellers, jump into the middle of the price pack, and your inventory will be sitting in a warehouse near a buying customer who wants that product quickly, and they'll grab yours at a higher price than all the other sellers selling the same item. That's pretty cool, right? But what's a branded bundle? To slightly change the topic, to get away from selling the same thing everyone else is on some of these ASINs. And when I say ASIN, that's just a listing on Amazon. That's geek speak. Sorry to use the term if it's new to you, but every listing on Amazon is called an ASIN, ASIN. You'll see the little code B00 something, something, something after that, letters and numbers on every page. As a shopper on Amazon, you'll start seeing it. So we call those ASINs. So on every listing on Amazon, there's potentially multiple sellers. But if you want to get away from being one of several sellers, well, you have a couple options. You can go invent a new product, try to build a better mousetrap, and that's what the whole world's trying to do on Amazon right now, again, with a 95% failure rate if you're a new seller. Or you can create a bundle. What if with that coconut water that I ordered last night, somebody had bundled up a nice, cool looking smoothie cup and a smoothie card, recipe card of some kind, or some other items that might go along with somebody who likes using coconut water for their smoothies. And I'd noticed that bundle sitting there. And so instead of buying that box of coconut water that had, I think there was 8 or 10 other sellers selling it at the time, I would have noticed that other listing sitting there and said, oh, wow, I like that one. That's a few more dollars, but I'll grab that instead. And that would only be one seller if they've got a brand built around that bundle. Now, they don't have to invent anything new to do what I just described. They could have an unusual smoothie cup that's a little harder to source. Maybe they've had it branded. There's companies that will do the branding on the cup, or maybe they've just got a refrigerator magnet or something unique. We teach that strategy for creating a unique bundle that nobody else can duplicate. Now, before you go down that road, don't get too excited and just go start launching bundles. If it's not trademarked, if you're not brand registered, odds are it's not going to survive very long if it starts to succeed. So you've got to go through some steps. There's a bit of a learning curve there. We actually have a course. provenbrandbuilding.com is the course. I'll stick a link in the show notes. Good news. Proven Brand Building is one of the many modules that's included inside the Proven Amazon course. Again, the Proven Amazon course is a collection of all the modules you'll ever need to learn how to grow a great business on Amazon from anywhere in the world. Where you live doesn't matter. We can help you out no matter where you live. We've got students doing this all over the world. If you live outside the US, you're typically sourcing and buying products in the US and then using a prep partner to handle your inventory for you instead of shipping it across the world and then back to the US. Well, you just have a partner take it out of the box and get it ready for Amazon for you, slap the labels on it, that sort of thing. No problem. Got thousands of students doing that every day in our community. You can hear dozens of interviews of students all over the world doing their business exactly that way as I just described. So that's branded bundles. You get a box with your brand on it. You stick these items in that box. Nobody can duplicate your brand, even though it's common products with other people's brands on them. Now it's in your box. Yeah, there's a few rules you need to understand. Yeah, there's a few ways it can go wrong. You got to know what you're doing. But we talk you through it in the Proven Brand Building course, which is a standalone course, or again, get it as part of the Proven Amazon course. What's after that? Well, I talked a little bit about wholesale earlier. And part of the beauty of wholesale, the way we teach it is we're not teaching you to go find wholesalers that aren't on Amazon yet. You could experiment with that. You may turn it into something, you may not. There's some people who play the Amazon game that way. We prefer to find the underserved listings. Remember those underserved sections of the Amazon's virtual store? So as customers are walking through, you can notice those gaps in the shelf where we need more product. You can do that by looking for wholesalers as well. And that's stepping into significantly less competition. It's partnership opportunities as well. And we talk through that in our Proven Wholesale Sourcing course, which again is a module inside the Proven Amazon course. Great content. We've got Rich and Shelley Potter, who have built a beautiful multiple seven figures business around that concept alone. They actually help us coach and train others on that as well. So if you're interested in coaching and working one-on-one, you should know this. All of the coaches on our team, we got about 60 of them. All of them are highly successful Amazon sellers with amazing businesses who carve out a little bit of their time to work with a handful of students at a time, one-on-one. That's our coaching program. There's a link at silentjimdotcom to go check that out if you're interested. So that's wholesale. Not going to dive real deep into it right now, but I'm just working my way up this pyramid of opportunity. Meaning if you're brand new, you probably don't jump into the deep end right off the bat. We do have some people that move into wholesale very quickly, however. So don't be intimidated. Everything I've mentioned up to this point are things that you can pick up fairly rapidly if you're a fast study. Next, private label. Yes, you're finally ready to start thinking about private label. Once you're earning about, we say if you're selling $20,000 to $30,000 per month on Amazon, you're ready to start thinking about the potential of launching your own product. You know enough of the landscape. You know how things work. You've maybe created a couple new listings. Now you're ready. You've got the network of connections. You understand our community and what we have to offer. You understand the services we have that can help you. You can maybe launch your own product. We have some extremely exciting private label success stories in our community. But private label, well, that's just from our vantage point, it's launching a new product that didn't exist before on Amazon. That's it. New product that didn't exist before. So from our vantage point, having a branded bundle is every bit as good as having a private label product that you launch, because the whole point is having something that no one else can compete with you on. Yes, we have sellers in our community with branded bundles who are selling millions of dollars annually, very high profit operations, super excited, doing things like snack bundles of common, everyday recognized, easily recognized snacks in a movie bundle box type of thing with their brand on the box. And you open it up and it's brands that everybody would recognize, but it's a unique bundle to them because it's in their branded box. That's every bit as good as launching your own private label product, inventing a new, better mousetrap, right? Because nobody can copy you. That's the whole point of having private label product, is it can't be copied by others. You will, however, always have competitors. There's no such thing as having no competition. No matter what business you get into, the margin monsters are coming. That's why you must keep growing and being creative. But the opportunities are massive. So what's above private label? Well, consulting, proven product partnering, helping others do what it is you do. We have many successful students in our community, for example, that become coaches or content creators on our team. We share the revenue with them when they create courses and trainings with us. Or you find businesses near you that want to get onto Amazon and they don't know what they're doing yet. Or you find products that have terrible listings on Amazon, or maybe just way too many sellers beating each other up and driving their prices lower. And you offer to be an exclusive partner with them on their brand. And they pay you a percentage of all the sales. We call this the PPP model, proven product partnering. You find a good selling product, you partner up with the product owner and you represent them on Amazon. It's a beautiful model, another model that's taught inside the Proven Amazon course. Now, as we start to wrap this episode up, please don't hear today that I think you should do all of these. Absolutely not. Pick one, stick with it, get good, put some money in the bank, but don't get stuck in a rut. Automate and scale. Bring in good people that can do the jobs for you. So you're doing the things that only you can do, which at the end of the day, as I've gone through this list, there's not a whole lot here that you couldn't learn and then competently train or show somebody else or hire somebody from our team. We'll hire and train virtual assistants for you and hand them off to you, people that work just for you. That's what we do at Proven Replens VA with hundreds of clients. Proven Replens VA, as in virtual assistant.com. ProvenReplensVA.com. Go check it out. We hire and train and then hand them over to you so you can start to automate and step away. And that's how you scale. You don't do all of these things by yourself, but they all complement each other. They build on each other. Many people from our community, for example, have opened up small retail stores where they sell some of their excess inventory, and the systems complement each other. They're selling online. The stuff that doesn't sell, they've got in the retail store. The retail customers are coming in, buying from them. They're building a customer list. So you've got these complementary systems all feeding into the same basic business structure, but there's multiple streams of income involved at that point. So you've got some stability and security. That's what we love talking about around here. Hopefully this has encouraged you and equipped you. We like to, every once in a while, just go through and remind everyone of the Amazon seller opportunities that we have for you around here. If you want to work with a true pro who has been doing this stuff a long time, people way smarter than me on our team in each of these segments, we've got great coaches that can step you through and help you get your business to that next level that you've dreamed about, get you that financial freedom through an e-commerce business. I think of it as my business in my pocket, take it anywhere. My family went to Mexico not too long ago. Business kept right on running. Nobody knew or cared that I was out of the country. Had my business right here, checking my numbers, checking the data, checking in with the team. Nobody cares where you're at on the planet when you've got a virtual business. I've been doing it 20 years. You could have that as well. We'd love to help you out. My name's Jim. Thanks for listening to Silent Sales Machine Radio. Can't wait to do another episode for you again very soon. God bless you, business building warrior.